The year was 1984, and I was just entering into high school, and my brother was entering into college. Now, my brother was a very astute artist. He was actually very gifted and very talented, and he did amazing work. In high school, he was doing college level work, but he went to this school called Newark School of Fine and Industrial Arts. And at this point, hip hop was like on full blast. Hip hop was like the thing, and it was definitely catching fire. And I grew up in the suburbs of Scotch Plains in New Jersey. So there were a lot of kids who didn't understand it and didn't embrace it. But for those of us who knew, we ran with it and it was very powerful. Now, while my brother was in Newark, he ran into some graffiti writers in school and he began writing. And when he would come home and bring home his books, I was like, yo, who taught you how to do that? And his graffiti was like slamming. It was just like he had these wild style letters. He had these letters that were just like connecting, and it was just like the what we saw in New York when we would go over to the Bronx to see my aunt. And I was like, yo, you got to teach me how to do this. So he had hooked up with a crew in Newark that was putting him on, and um, he brought it back to Scotch Plains. And I was like, teach me how to do this. Now, I was very much into art when I got into high school, but this really took me over to the edge because when I saw the style, when I saw the writing, when I saw the colors and the flair, I related to it. And I was like, I'm in. I got to learn how to do this. And um, I began to grow. I began to learn under him. I began to practice lettering. I took every art course imaginable to help me bolster my graffiti craft. I believe that, hey, if I could load up on all these art classes, this is going to help me be a better graffiti artist. So that's how I really began to embrace art. Before that time, I was drawing just to be drawing, but now I was starting to take this seriously because we started doing jackets, we started doing shirts. People would ask for posters and flyers for parties, and we started making money. And then we started getting street cred. So myself and my brother, we hooked up with some dudes in Plainfield that was writing as well, and we formed a crew. And there was a couple other cats in Scotch Plains that was writing as well. And we began to get some serious street cred because there wasn't that many people around writing where we were. And we were doing it. We were doing walls, we were tagging, we were going all over the place. And the deeper I got into this, and as I embraced this thing called graffiti, the more I identified with it, and the more I convinced myself that like this is what I'm going to do for a living. I'm going to be an artist. And my brother was already in art school, and he was training to be an advertising and graphic designer, and he was on his way to make money doing what he loved to do, doing art. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do the same. So I purposed myself that I am going to train and I am going to study and I'm going to be an artist. And that was my beginning. That's how I became an artist. And it all started with graffiti. Well, I grew and I established myself as an artist amongst all my peers and friends. And I eventually graduated from high school and I went to the Art Institute of Philadelphia, where I was exposed to graphic design, illustration, typography, the whole gamut. And I decided that I was going to go into advertising and graphic design as a major. And those years were crucial because I really honed my skills as an artist and I exposed myself to so many different styles and genres of art. I learned how to look at art. I learned how to take elements from different styles and put them into my own work. And it was a very, very powerful experience. And of course, I eventually evolved from doing graffiti, but I always credit graffiti as the root of my style and the root of my philosophy as an artist. Even though my art has changed over the years and I have bounced around from style to style and technique from technique, I still am rooted in graffiti. And there's a lot of elements in my work today is that pays homage to graffiti. And I just recently started a series a couple years ago called my hip hop collection, where I give a nod to those early years where I was heavily influenced by the hip hop era, the music, the fashion, the art, the graffiti, everything. Everything went into this series and how it affected my life, my thinking, and my direction as an artist. And if it wasn't for hip hop, I would probably not be the artist that I am today because it had such an influence on how I saw the world and how I saw life in general. So that's how I got started as an artist, and I'm always amazed of all the influences that have contributed to my work to this day. And I'm very thankful for all those who contributed to my success, my growth, for those who bought work, who supported my work, who came out to art shows, who just encouraged me over the years just to keep going, because it can be very difficult to live this life as an artist, um, because there's so much that beats you down or tries to keep you in a box. But you got to keep going. And when you got people who love you, who are interested in your work and interested in your success and are rooting for you, it helps. So I hope that helps somebody. If you like this video, please like, comment, and share. I love you all. Keep going, keep creating, and never surrender your gift, because your gift is special and someone out there needs to see what you do. I love you all. Yahweh bless. And don't forget to like, comment, and share this video to someone who needs to hear this and be encouraged.